Greetings from the House of Ra. Today, I would like to share with you more wisdom from my spiritual teacher, Bhagwan Afrika, aka Dr. Leonard Ingram. Today's gem for consideration is from his book, Infinite Happiness. Right here, right now, discourses on the Ra Ananda Sutra. I have selected a snippet from the book's introduction. Therein he states, humanity can be divided into two basic groups of people, those who are spiritually asleep and unconscious, and those who are spiritually awake and fully conscious. The experience of happiness, in the true sense of the word, will depend on where you are in terms of consciousness. If you are asleep, then only temporary and minimal pleasure through the body-mind is available to you, and to attempt to find happiness in the sensual pleasures of the body is to attempt the impossible. Nevertheless, millions of people are desperately trying, in every possible way, to achieve happiness in the sensual pleasures of the body, trying to force the body to produce something that it is not capable of producing, i.e. permanent happiness. The body can only provide minimal and temporary pleasure, and this pleasure is always followed and balanced by pain and suffering in the same amount, or to the same degree. Every pleasure is followed by its opposite experience, because the body exists in this world of duality and is subject to its laws. Worldly pleasures are followed by pain and suffering, just as day is followed by night, and birth is followed by death. The body is also a part of this vicious cycle. Your bodily pleasure will be followed by pain, and your pain will be followed by pleasure. All bodily states and emotional experiences are temporary and are constantly moving between these pairs of opposites. By resorting to the body-mind strategies alone, you will never be at ease. It is a vicious, endless cycle. Yet the spiritually asleep and unconscious person knows nothing else. He has no other option but to continue struggling for happiness in this hopeless cycle of worldly pain and pleasure. Tragically, any real happiness is not possible for such a person. His search for happiness is confined to pleasuring his body. Only food and sex. This is his whole world. What a person thinks happiness consists of depends on his level of consciousness. To the spiritually asleep and spiritually immature individual, pleasurable experiences at the level of the physical body without interruption is what happiness means. He lives from one moment of pleasure to the next, with periods of pain and suffering in between. He lives for the small thrills of life. His life is very superficial. It has no depth or quality. He lives in a world of quantity, of having more, the world of lust and greed. He never knows any real happiness in life. The ultimate Ananda, bliss and happiness, happens only when one becomes fully conscious and spiritually mature. It happens only when you become an awakened one, and all sleep and dreaming is gone, when your whole being is full of light, when there is no more darkness within you, i.e. enlightenment. All darkness, egoity, has disappeared, and with that disappearance of darkness, the ego is transcended. All tensions have disappeared, as well as all anguish and anxiety. You are in a total state of contentment, of bliss. You live in the eternal present, no past, no future. Here, now, right now is the only time And right here is the only place and space. And then suddenly the whole sky drops into you. This is bliss. This is happiness. This is Ananda. Body and sensual pleasures is only human. Happiness is divine. Pleasure binds you to the body and its cycle of opposite states. It is thus a kind of bondage. It enslaves you to the senses and the objects thereof. Happiness is absolute freedom. It gives you wings. You are no longer confined to the gross earth. You become as vast as the sky. You become light and joy. Pleasure is dependent on conditions and circumstances, on the whims of others. Happiness is not dependent and is unconditional. It is your very nature and being. To attain it is to attain God, to attain paradise. It is my hope that by reading Infinite Happiness right here, right now, the sadhana, spiritual process for attaining true happiness will be clearly understood and then followed. And by grace, may you then find real happiness and have its causes forever. Rashikama At.